Welcome to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast, your go-to resource for personal development and coaching. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I hope you're all so well. In today's episode, this is another business-focused episode for all of you business owners out there. And today we're talking about the 4 phases to growing 6-figure plus offers in your business. As you move forward in your business, as you go about growing your business, wherever you are right now in your business journey, I want you to stop focusing on growing a 6-figure or multiple 6-figure or 7-figure business and instead focus on growing 6-figure, multiple 6-figure, 7-figure offers in your business. This concept comes from a way of looking at your business so that you're really focusing on the core offers in your business and seeing each of these offers as kind of like their own separate business themselves, right? And if we don't know what those engines are for our business, what those core offers are, what those primary offers are, what it can lead you to doing is scattering your attention in all different places and not pinpointing what those offers are that make the most difference to your business, as well as to supporting your clients and your community. So you want to make sure you're always clear on what those core offers are. And when you focus on building offers that generate the income you're desiring rather than your business as a whole, it gets you to start thinking in much bigger and better ways in your business. And it often leads to the results you want financially and in terms of impact in your business as a whole. So in this episode, I'm going to introduce you to the 4 phases to the offer journey. And I want you to think about this with your specific offers in your business in mind. When I talk about an offer, I'm talking about your paid offers in your business. So your services and or any products that you offer where people are paying you for those products and services in your business. Before I dive into that, let me give you all a little life update because I haven't given one for a while. So as I record today's episode, I'm recording this from London. As some of you know, I've been in London for a while. I tend to move between Australia and the UK at the moment after spending years traveling and living all over the world. I have tended to come back to London and move between London and Australia for the past 2 years, which has been really fun. But interestingly, each season has brought me back to London during the winter. And I was really happy to go with the flow of that and enjoy all the things that London brings during Christmas and the New Year and the colder season. However, this year I got back to London in September and it was beautiful warm weather, and very quickly in October the weather started to turn. Now it's back to more reasonable warm-ish weather, but there was quite a lot of really cold weather, and it really got me asking myself, is this where I want to spend my time? Do I want to spend the winter in London? And so I haven't fully decided yet, but right now I am exploring possibly heading back to somewhere warmer for the rest of the year and for the winter, so that I'm not here in London for the winter and instead I'm coming back when we have the summer holidays here in Europe. And as I've been thinking about this, it's just reminded me how lucky I am to be able to make these decisions. It is so easy for me to pick up and just move wherever I want all over the world and enjoy whichever place is calling me. Sometimes that's in Australia. I do spend a lot of the time there. I tend to go to places that I didn't grow up, and so they feel nice and new for me, which allows me to have that sense of adventure ticked off my list. And I also come back to London because this is a place I have lived as well and have spent a lot of time. I've got a lot of community here and I just absolutely love London. But sometimes I also want to explore other new places in the world. And so I've lived and stayed in places literally all over the world as I feel like it. And the reason I'm able to do this is because of the way I designed not only my business, but my offers in my business. I have intentionally designed every aspect of my business and my offers to allow me to live the lifestyle now that I want to live. So I always design my lifestyle first before I offer anything in my business. And because in my business, I've been so focused on growing offers over a long-term basis, it enables me to set myself up for maximum freedom, maximum impact, and maximum results because I just keep refining and getting better and better and better at what I do. So this has enabled me to travel all over the world, to financially support myself and reach those income goals that I've wanted. It allowed me to replace my income as a lawyer and go way beyond that. I've been able to build my business on a 3-day week, working 6 hours a day. For most of my business, I ran it so that I wasn't working during my period every single month. I was also taking off 12 weeks every year in 2 6-week chunks. And then I was also taking my period week off, or sometimes I would work, but I would never do client calls during that time so that I could have that week to myself. And so everything about the way I worked and operated in my business was built around my exact lifestyle needs that I had in that season of my life. So all of my offers were built around that and built with a long-term focus. I supported people for years in these offers that were all built to support this lifestyle that I desired and commanded. And therefore, people were able to meet me, right? Because I had very clear guidelines and boundaries and structures that people were very clear on before they started working with me, which enabled people to meet me where I was at. Instead of what most of us do, which is we create an offer based on what we think people are wanting and demanding of us, and then we try to fit into what we think the people want, and we sacrifice ourselves in the process when the people were never even asking for these things. And what I've noticed throughout my journey in business is that if you let your clients decide what they get from you, people want all sorts of things. So you can never make everyone happy. You have to decide what you need and then build your offers and build your business around that. And so that is really all about the first phase to the offer cycle that I'll be talking about in a moment. Now, then my needs in the season of my life shifted and I wanted something new in my business. I wanted a new offer, a new focus. I was in a different season of my life. I had different lifestyle needs. And so I created a new offer and worked my way through the offer cycle I'm going to be sharing with you in this episode. And I built that offer based on my lifestyle needs. This was when I shifted my focus to relationship coaching. And then I was doing all one-to-one work in my business or working with couples. So it was lots of private coaching, a very different business model to what I had been building before, which was mostly group coaching and mastermind model. So then I had more time that I was willing to work in my business. I wanted to work more often in my business, but do fewer hours each day. So I built my business model around that. I also was over traveling all over the place and moving between countries every 4 to 6 weeks. Instead, I wanted to be in the one place for a longer period of time, something like a 6-month period. And so I built my offers all around that. And this enabled me to meet me in the season of my life I was in there. Because most of my calls were done audio only, it wasn't taxing anymore for me to hold space during my period. Instead of when I was holding group calls, I was supporting lots of people on video calls. That was very draining for me during my inner winter. So that wasn't something I was able to offer. But once I was doing the audio only calls and it was all private coaching, one-to-one or me and 2 people, this was something that I could sustain during my period. So instead of taking my period week off, I would instead just have a week off every month that I use as and when I wanted to do that. Something I've been able to do over the past couple of years is let my schedule out to my clients once a month, which allows me to decide what I want to do that next month ahead so that we're both able to book in times that work for exactly what's happening in our life at that moment, rather than planning out a schedule that's way in advance and then needing to work around that. And that was really awesome for the way I've been living my life over the last couple of years. Now, as I move forward, I'm going back into a season of my business where I will have more structured time for my business, and I'll be taking those big, long chunks of time off again in my business, and I'll be working in a more timetabled way. And that's just because the season of life that I'm moving into, that's something that I really desire. So the way that I run my offers will all be built around that. And that's a beautiful thing because I have to be able to sustain whatever I'm offering. I need to know how I work best. And because I'll be working with people in groups and I'll be holding space for lots of people all at once again, I need to work in a way that allows my energy to be sustained during that period. And because I've done this over many years, I know what that looks like. So now I've shifted to have clearer seasons, 2 seasons each year that I'm working with people, season breaks, and I have transition times into my offer, transition times out of my offer, and all of this is decided, and it brings me so much joy, and it also allows me to move between the different places I want to be in throughout my year. So this is the kind of work we're able to do when we show up for our businesses intentionally and holistically. And when I work with my clients through my holistic business framework and process, this is how we do business. We are always starting with your life and your lifestyle first. We're always starting with the season of your life, the energy you have, what you're actually wanting to do outside of your business, how you work best first. So there's this real self-discovery and personal development element that I help my clients get clear on first. Then we're implementing strategies for your business, including making sure you have an aligned business model to begin with, which often my clients don't, and I help them to reposition that. That helps them also build strategies for their business based on the phase they are in their business and in each of their offers right now. This allows us to ditch all of the other strategies they could be doing, all of the other problems they think they need to solve, and instead we just get super duper focused on what needs to happen next in their business based on where their offers are right now. And then we solve that problem, and then we're able to move to the next phase of the business journey and the offer cycle. This is what enables you to grow a 6-figure, multiple 6-figure and beyond business. It's not about trying to do everything all at once. And so understanding which phase each of your offers are in right now, and therefore your business, is one of the easiest ways to solve this issue and to support you to grow in the quickest way. And then, of course, once you identify what phase you're in and what the problem is you need to solve and what your strategies are, and you build that aligned business model, which is what I help my clients do, that's aligned with their lifestyle, then, of course, the work is all about your body mind through that process, because the body and the mind are going to resist your changes, even if they are changes that you want and desire, which in our case, they are. Because they're different, because you're growing, because you're changing, your body mind will resist your transformation. Thankfully, I am an expert in transformation, and I work my clients through an intentional transformational process that has them work through the 4 phases to the transformation cycle, so that you're learning how to step out of your way, how to stop resisting, how to stop self-sabotaging, and how to actually show up and execute the strategies that we decide upon to solve the problem that needs to be solved next in your business. This sounds really easy, but this is 80% of the work with any client I work with, whether it's in my mastermind or my holistic business coaching program. You all know, listening to me right now, that you can come up with a strategy. You can tell yourself this is going to work, it's going to be great, and then you will still find yourself self-sabotaging, not implementing the strategy, or implementing the strategy but not believing it's going to work, or maybe even implementing the strategy but not even reviewing what results you're getting and then using that feedback to actually learn from your implementation in real time. It can be really hard to let go of great ideas or great strategies when they're not actually giving you the results you want. And for some of you, it's hard to even go out there and implement them because you want to do it perfectly. So you're not even giving yourself the ability to get that feedback so you can know how to tweak your strategies so that they start working for you. So as you can imagine, when we make sure we have a business model that is actually aligned for the life you want to live right now, and we build your offers from that place or tweak or reposition them if we need to, if we make sure we build strategies that are actually solving the number one problem that needs to be solved in your business right now to move each offer to the next phase of its journey, and we support your body and mind throughout the process of growth and transformation, this is everything you need to sustain a growing and thriving business. And this is exactly what I support you to do in my two business offerings. The first is my Holistic Business Mastermind, also known as the Mistress Mind. And the second is through my one-to-one business coaching program, which is called the Holistic Business Coaching Program. In both of these offerings, I'm working you through a very similar process. You're working your way through a process for business growth and transformation that is truly holistic, supporting your body, your mind, and your intuition throughout the process of growth. And we are also working with your lifestyle, you and what you need to thrive in this season of your life to make sure that we're approaching your business and having your business support your life in a way that truly allows you and your life to thrive. And finally, we are solving the one business problem that needs to be solved in your business right now. Of course, we might solve more than one business problem throughout our journey together, but we always start with one. And in today's episode, learning about the 4 phases to the offer cycle, this will help you start to identify what that number one problem is that needs to be solved next in your business to create the business that you desire and take it to its next season of growth. Before I dive into that, I want to make sure that you all know that applications for both my Holistic Business Mastermind and my Holistic Business Coaching Program for 2025 are now open, and they close at the end of this week on Friday, the 25th of October. If you would love to work with me in 2025 over 6 months in either my Holistic Business Mastermind or my Holistic Business Coaching Program, make sure you submit your application before this time. You can find the details for my mastermind at leticiaringe.com/HBM, and you can find the details for my one-to-one private coaching program for business at leticiaringe.com/HBCP. That stands for Holistic Business Coaching Program. The difference between these programs is that if you choose the mastermind, you'll be working with a small group of women over 6 months, as well as me, to support you as you grow your business. If you choose the private coaching option, you'll be working one-to-one with me only. In both cases, you will be guided through a very similar process to support your growth and transformation, to support you in identifying what that number one business problem is that needs to be solved next, and creating aligned strategies and a business model that supports your lifestyle and the problem that needs to be solved next, so that we can have you growing your business and thriving through that journey. I look forward to hearing more about you and your business over on your application. And if you're listening to this episode after the 25th of October, you can still find your way to those links and make sure you put your name on the waitlist. This may be the only place to hear about enrollment when it opens next, because usually I share enrollment details first with all of our alumni and then with our waitlist. And if there are still places left, we then open it up to the public. All right, so now let's talk about the 4 phases to growing 6-figure and beyond offers in your business. There are 4 phases to the offer journey. Typically, we think about this in terms of your business as a whole, but I want to introduce this concept of thinking about the journey just with regards to each specific offer. So instead of asking yourself, where is my business at? I want you to look at all the offers you're currently offering for money in your business and identify which phase each offer is in right now. Here are the 4 phases. The first phase is your starting phase. This is where you are creating your offer. And the result that you want to create at the end of this starting phase is a clear offer that solves a problem for your client. That's the result that you want to create at the end of this first phase. Once you have that clear offer that solves a problem for your client, you can move on to the second phase of the offer journey. The second phase is all about validating. You've heard me probably talk before about validating a signature offer for your business. I want you to think about this same concept, except we're not talking necessarily about a signature offer here. We're talking about validating this specific offer that you're thinking about. Now, to validate a signature offer, this means that the offer is selling. I like to use as a general rule of thumb the standard of once I have sold $10,000 or more in revenue and sales for that particular offer, then I have validated that that offer is an offer that my people will pay for and want. So it means the offer is validated, and you have also validated what marketing and sales strategies and processes work to sell that offer. So the result you want at the end of this phase is that you have sold $10,000 or more places into this specific offer. So if my offer is $1,000, that would look like I have sold 10 people, 10 places into this specific offer. Now I know that this is an offer that people want, and now I also know what marketing and sales strategies and processes have worked the best to create sales for that particular offer. Okay, then we move into the third phase of the offer journey, and that is all about growing your offer. Now that we're growing your offer, we now have some clients who have moved through your program or product. So you've got some feedback about the offer's deliverability. This is when you can actually look at how can I make this delivery process even better. So you might be looking at offer refinement through this process. And you'll also be looking at how to sell your offer to more people using the validated marketing and sales strategies and processes that you came up with in the second phase. This is when you'll be selling to more people, but because you've got validated processes and now you've got feedback about the offer deliverability, instead of trying to figure out how to sell to your community, you now know what works, and all you're figuring out is how to now bring in more people to sell to in your business. Rather than what most people do in this phase, which is they focus on still testing and validating marketing and sales strategies and then bringing in more people, more leads, but their marketing and sales strategies aren't even working. right? So whenever you're growing and scaling in your business and in an offers journey, you're growing and scaling the problems. So if you haven't come up with a clear offer and you know what the problem is that that offer solves for your client, and if you haven't validated what marketing and sales strategies work to sell that offer and that people actually want to buy it, then if you try to bring in more leads and focus on community growth, you're only going to be selling something that isn't validated, which is just going to lead you to having more rejection in your business. So if we focus on solving the right problem in our business for right now, we allow ourselves to be set up with a strong foundation from which we can grow and scale. This is great news because it means you don't need to try and solve having more leads, figuring out what marketing and sales work, figuring out what your offer is and your messaging all at once. We don't want to do that. We want to spread it out over the appropriate point of the offer's journey. And that's something I help my clients with. So in the growing phase, we are just looking at our validated marketing and sales process. We're looking at the results our clients have gotten through the offer being delivered to them. And then we're working with that information to now make the offer even better in terms of its deliverability and to now sell to more people and grow that offer probably to 6 figures at this point. So in this circumstance, we're looking at moving from 10K in total sales and revenue to 100K in total sales and revenue. And remember, that is just in terms of that one specific offer. And then once we have built that one specific offer to 6 figures or around about that, we're then going to move into the scaling phase of that offer's journey. This is where we're looking at how do I scale my time, my resources, or my income that I generate from that offer depending on what my goals are. Now, this might actually lead you to creating an entirely new offer, which means you'll then be going back through this 4-phase process to start your new offer, validate it, grow it, and then scale it. And this new offer might be completely replacing this offer. Or you might be learning how to scale the offer that is already at the scaling phase. And now you're looking at how you can actually deliver that offer using less of your time and energy directly, or simply bringing in more income through that offer. And there are different strategies that you can use depending on your scalability goals. This is where you might also be simply building that offer so that it's now generating multiple 6 figures or beyond that. One of my coaches that I worked with, I've now worked with a number of multimillionaire business owners personally. One of my coaches who I worked with talked about thinking about your offer in terms of a 7-figure offer, right? If you had to scale your one offer to 7 figures, how would you do that? I love this question because what it does is at each stage of your offer's development and journey, you're learning how to refine and make that offer even more valuable. So at the scaling phase, you are for sure asking yourself, from what I have learned through delivering my offer and growing it now to 6 figures and now on my way to beyond that, how can I make this offer even better in terms of deliverability for my clients, as well as supporting whatever my scalability goals actually are? When we ask the right questions, this is where we get innovative answers for our businesses and our offers, rather than what the brain likes to do, which is just repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so they are the 4 phases to the offer cycle. And what you'll probably notice is that these 4 phases are the same 4 phases that we talk about and think about in business when we think of our business as a whole. The difference here is that because we're focusing just on each specific offer, now we're going to get even better answers on what to prioritize and also how to make that offer's marketing and sales as well as its deliverability even better. This is going to have you thinking in a much higher way, a much more innovative way. And the truth is, you really should consider every single offer in your business as its own business. This was something I also learned from another amazing multi-millionaire that I've worked with. You want to think of each offer as its own business so that you stop getting distracted with all of the other things you could offer in your business. Now, I don't mean that you won't ever have other supplementary offers that help lead people into these core offers in your business. What I am saying is that you will have clear core offers for your business. So when you're doing those supplementary offers, you understand that they are part of the marketing and sales strategy for the core offers in your business. Rather than offering something supplementary, putting tons of effort, maybe even more effort than what you usually would put into your core offers, and then expecting those offers to supplement the income from your core offers. This is a mistake I see many business owners making. All right, so now you know what the 4 phases are to the offer cycle. Here is what I want you now to do with this information. Step 1, I want you to write down all of your paid offers in your business right now. Write down every single one and how much that offer is being sold for. And you also can have a look at how much money you have made in each of your offers in total. You can do that looking at sales or revenue. Sales is when you have sold a certain amount of places, but you might not have necessarily received all that revenue yet because people are paying you on either a deferred basis or over a payment plan. Or you can put how much actual revenue, which is the money you've received already from clients, is for each of those offers, whichever one you want to go with. Then what I want you to do, step 2 is after you've written down all of your offers and you know how much money you've made in each of them and how much you're selling them for, I then want you to locate where each offer is in this 4-phase process. Are you starting? Are you validating? Are you growing? Or are you scaling that offer? Now, it's really important that when you locate where you are right now, that you do not skip any of the phases. So even if you think you're growing your offer right now, but you haven't made $10,000 or more from that offer, either in sales or revenue, then you're still in the validating phase for that offer. And if you're not clear on what your offer is, and you don't know what the problem is that your offer is solving, then you're not in the validating phase, you are in the starting phase. And you need to start there and solve that problem before you move into validating. Otherwise, you're going to keep exacerbating the problem that you have, and you're going to stay stuck in the validating phase for even longer. So I want you to clearly locate where you actually are in the offer cycle for each of your offers. And then step 3 is, I want you to pick just one offer to focus on growing next. Now, what does growing mean? Growing means solving the problem that needs to be solved for that offer based on the phase of the offer journey it is in right now. So if you don't know what your offer is, if you're not clear on it, if you don't know the problem you're solving, the phase you're in is starting. And that means the problem you need to solve is that you have a clear offer that solves a very specific problem for your client. Okay? And you cannot move on to the next phase until you have that solved. This means that if you are validating, the problem that you need to solve is learning how to market and sell that offer until you have $10,000 in sales or revenue from that one specific offer. That is the only problem you need to focus on solving right now. If you're in the growing phase of that offer, what you're doing is learning how to sell to more people until you reach approximately 6 figures for that offer. And you're also learning how to refine your offer's deliverability to make it even better. That's it. If you're in the scaling phase, you're asking yourself what your scaling goals are, and then you're looking at how you can scale based on either your time, your resources, or your income, and depending on what your scalability goals actually are. So I want you to pick just one offer that you're going to focus on growing, which means solving that one problem. And you're going to focus on only that one offer, because that is the one offer that if you had to choose, that would make the biggest difference to your business. You could choose the low-hanging fruits, the ones that you know are already validated, that are already bringing in the majority of your income, and you can look at how can we now move this to the next phase of its offer journey. Or you can think about, hey, I don't want to focus on the low-hanging fruit. I know that ultimately the business I want is this. And so I'm going to focus on only this one specific offer because that's the business that I want to build my business model around anyway. And I want to focus my attention on. And these other offers are just distracting me from that. So choose one offer to focus on growing to the next phase of its offer journey right now. This is going to help you in the following ways. Number one, it's going to give you the ability to focus. Instead of being distracted by all the different strategies, all the different information out there, you now know what the problem is you need to solve in your business. It's also going to help you actually grow that offer in the quickest way you can, because now you're not being distracted by all your other offers and all the other secondary problems that are not as important as this very specific problem your business needs to solve now for growth. It's also going to allow you to get support, because if you don't know how to solve that problem, this is where you go and get support to help you solve it. This is where I can support you in either my holistic business mastermind or in my holistic business coaching program. This is then also going to help you actually transform, because in order for you to grow in your business, in order for this offer to grow in any way, you as the person thinking about the offer, providing the offer, working on the offer, you're going to need to change some of the ways you think, some of the ways you behave, some of the identities you hold about yourself, and this will require you to get your body, mind, and intuition on board. And there are very specific ways I support my clients to work with these 3 parts of you so that you're actually moving through a transformation process that will stick and create lasting change, so that you're not growing and then going back to where you started. You're not experiencing this setback, self-sabotage any. Instead, you're actually slowing down to actually work your way through a transformational process that will lead to the new embodiment that you're creating. This means for all of your other offers, whenever you're working through that same phase of the offer's journey, it's going to make things so much easier for you because you've done it before. Finally, this is going to support you to create more ease and sustainability in yourself and in your business, because you're no longer going to be scattering your attention and energy all over the place. Instead, you're going to be able to get in and get out every day, knowing clearly what the problem is you're looking to solve and focusing on just that one problem right now, rather than all the other ways you could be pulled and all the other directions you could go in your business. This is what creates sustainability. And when you're super focused like this, guess what? You're way more innovative, you're way more creative, and you will enjoy your business so much more. Once you solve this problem, you get to move on to a different problem, and that's fun, rather stuck trying to solve all the different problems at once because you're simply not focusing on the right problem that needs to be solved right now. All right, my beautiful friends, in our next and final episode for this season of the podcast, all about business, I'm going to be going into the one business problem you need to solve right now in your business in even more detail. It's really important that you've listened to this episode first so that you really understand this concept of the 4 phases to the offer cycle, and you've already started to look at your offers in terms of each individual offer being essentially its own business and on its own journey. Then in the next episode, I'm going to help you get clearer on what that one business problem is that you need to solve right now based on the phase your offer is at right now. And also remember, based on the one offer, you want to focus first on growing and taking to the next phase of its offer journey. Remember that when you don't slow down to do this, what you end up doing is moving into the growing and scaling phases before your offer is ready, which means that you grow and scale the problems that you have, which is usually you don't have a validated offer, you don't have a validated marketing and sales strategy or process, and you also don't have a validated client delivery process, which makes it impossible to grow and scale your business to the level that you want to be at. So no matter where you are in each of your offers journey right now, the one last thing I want you all to know is that there is no shame in slowing down to focus on one offer at a time and to focus on the full 4 phases, one phase at a time in order to grow that offer. This is smart. You don't want to be focusing on growing and scaling something that isn't ready to be grown or scaled. You want to slow down to speed up. This is an approach I take not only to the strategies we implement in your business, it's also an approach I take to the way we approach growth and transformation. When we slow down to speed up, it sets you up for more rapid growth in the long term, and growth that you're ready for, that you're able to support. Some people, they actually experience a major boom in their business, but they don't have the foundation to support that, and that can actually be the kiss of death to a business. Tim Ferriss has spoken about this many times on his podcast about how when he markets and advertises one of his affiliates, if they're not ready to sustain the amount of orders that are going to come in through him promoting their product, it actually has led to so many businesses actually failing as a result of that. So I want you to think about this as being a really smart way to approach growth in your business. And also, it's an incredibly smart way to set your business up to be a leader within your niche and your industry. Do it right. Focus on growing 6-figure plus offers in your business rather than focusing on a 6-figure business. This is going to help you to start thinking bigger and higher about your business, and then slow down to actually support your offer in the current phase it's at right now. And finally, if you want support in 2025, if you want to start off the year knowing that you're supported with a partner in your business, that is me, and with an intentional container around you that will support solving the number one problem that needs to be solved in your business right now. And after we solve that, whatever the next one is, and that will support your growth and transformation in the most easeful way possible, then my Holistic Business Mastermind, or if you want one-to-one coaching, my Holistic Business Coaching Program is for you. Both programs will support you in solving the number one problem that needs to be solved in your business next, and will support you in both growing and thriving through the process of growing your business and whichever offer it is you're choosing to focus on. Applications are now open for both programs, and they close on Friday, the 25th of October. If you're listening to this episode after this time, go ahead right now and join the waitlist. This will give you the details about when places open next. And like I mentioned before, it might be the case that I do not publicly launch for either of these programs in the future, because we always sell to our alumni and our waitlist first, and then if there are places available, we open it up to the public. So head over to leticiaringe.com/HBM, that is for the mastermind, And if you want private coaching, head to leticiaringe.com/HBCP. That is for the Holistic Business Coaching Program. Remember, the only difference between these two programs is that one is a mastermind, so you'll be journeying with a small group of women in business by your side. You'll each be supporting each other's businesses as well as receiving support from me. And if you're in the Holistic Business Coaching Program, you'll be doing that journey completely one-to-one with me by your side. Both programs are for you if you're committed to growing in your business, whatever that next result is that you want, whether it's to have your lifestyle front and center and supported by your business, whether it's to grow your revenue and income, whether it's to increase your impact, whether it's to develop yourself professionally, whether it's to become a better leader and CEO for your business, whether it's to feel more confident in your skills, your service, your product, or even just running your business, whether it's to become a better leader and manager for your team and your community, or whether it's to bring more ease, sustainability, and alignment in your business. I teach my clients how to work with their bodies as women, how to work with your menstrual cycle in your business, as well as your creative cycle, how to work with whatever your current hormonal cycle is. If you're not experiencing a menstrual cycle right now, you learn how to lead your business and follow your intuition and instincts so that you're innovating and accessing wisdom that no one else can come up with. You'll learn how to develop your skills, your products, and your service so that you're actually in a professional development process as well, so that you can be truly the leader within your niche and industry. You're learning how to implement holistic strategies and an aligned business model for your business. You're learning how to consciously approach the process of transformation and support your body and mind through that process, as well as finding alignment with your intuition. And you're learning how to discover what it is you truly want from your life and your business. And we're ensuring that we're building the business, your life, and setting you up so that all three are thriving. I'm so excited to work with you in 2025. Once again, applications are now open. If you're listening to this after October 25th, make sure you place your name on the waitlist right now. Okay, everyone, let's get to work. I'll see you either over in your application or in our next episode. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast, your go-to resource for personal development and coaching. To deepen your learning and practice, make sure you're subscribed to receive our community newsletter. Subscribe at leticiaringe.com/newsletter. And if you haven't yet left a 5-star review for the podcast, we ask that you please do that now so that this podcast can reach other listeners who also want to join us in creating a life that is beautiful.